Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. My name is Gucci. I'm going to be your cycling instructor today. We've got a great class lined up for you. This is Cycle Express. A couple things before we go ahead and get started. If you know what bike you're using, please be mindful of how you increase and decrease resistance. Also, make sure before you go ahead to get cycling that your seat is at hip height, so that when you're pedaling, you can reach full extension in your hips and in your knees. We do ask that if you are working out in the SRAC right now, you keep your mask on. Just be mindful of the staff and patrons here. But I hope you guys are excited. I missed all of you. I know I saw some of you maybe on Monday if you tuned in. But if you did not and this is your first time here, we are really excited to have you for virtual group fitness. And if you're already on your bike, go ahead and start pedaling, but if not, go ahead and hop on. We're going to get started in about 1 minute and give a couple people a little bit more time to go ahead and join in on that live stream. Hopefully you guys have some water with you. If you're working out at a bike at home, maybe you've got a four-legged friend with you, give them a little pat on the head, because we love the encouragement. Though I miss seeing all of your beautiful, beautiful faces right in front of me, I trust that you guys are putting in just as much work, even though I cannot see you. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and locate that knob on your bike. That red knob, if you're on a Schwinn bike, it should be right in the center. Turning it to the left is going to take resistance off. Turning it to the right is going to add resistance. And then pushing down on that is going to bring your flywheel to a stop. And the off chance that things get a little out of hand. Again, if you're not on a Schwinn bike, please make sure you know how to make those accommodations on the specific bike that you're on for your own safety, and then also optimal participation in this class. If you have a console on your screen, go ahead and turn that on. A console will monitor RPMs and power. Maybe yours just does RPMs and watts. Maybe you don't have a screen. Anyway, these are just kind of extra ways to really track how much work you're putting in class. So RPMs are going to be how fast you're pedaling, and power is going to be how much force you're exerting on the pedals. Today's class is going to be a little bit different than Monday's class, so if you took Monday's class with me, today's class is going to look a little bit different. We're going to focus a little bit more on interval training rather than hill climbs and resistance training and stuff like that, but we're going to work on, from me, less lengthy cues and kind of key words. So the words that you're going to want to focus and listen for are stand. So when I cue stand, we're obviously going to give our bike an added resistance and come up out of the saddle. Keeping the majority of our weight over the pedal, pushing through the center of our foot. We should be cycling with a flat back, open chest, and engaged core. Good, and staying hovering right over the edge of your bike seat. Good, and when I say sit, obviously we're going to come back down into our seated position. In this position, we're also going to want to keep that engaged core with that open chest, flat back, pedaling through the center of our foot. If I cue us to add resistance, just say add. You would turn your knob to the right, or do whatever you need to do to add resistance to your flywheel. And if I say relax, you're going to turn it to the left, or take off whatever you need to take off resistance to your flywheel. Cueing for a rest or recovery, I'll just say it's recovery time. And we'll take a seat, take the resistance back, and catch our breath. And because we're doing interval training, we're going to want to use the scale of easy, moderate, and hard. So easy is work that you feel like you could put in for a really long time and not get tired. Moderate is work that you feel like you could put in for a long time, but after a while you're going to get tired. And then hard is going to be that work that we feel like we're going to get tired after a short bout. So just keep those in mind. Go ahead and creep up your resistance a little bit. And we're going to move into stage 1. Good. We're going to focus on sprints for the first song in stage 1. So I'm going to count us down, 3, 2, 1, and when I do that, we're going to go 30-second sprint and hard work. And then I'll stop us, 3, 2, 1, and we'll stay off for 30 seconds. And we're going to do that for about 4 rounds. Okay, good. 2, 1, on for that first 30-second sprint. Good, make sure we have enough resistance. Good, push through. And off for 30 seconds. You can relax that resistance. Good. Get ready to come back on. 3, 2, 1, on for 30 seconds. Good, push. Good. And off, relax. Take that resistance back. But don't get too comfy. We're back on shortly. All right, look here, 3. And on for 30 seconds. Good, push. Good. And relax, take some of that resistance off. Off for 30 seconds. All right, here we go back on in 3, 2, 1, and 30-second sprint. Good. Good, watch my hand. And relax, 30 seconds. We're gearing up for that last sprint. And 30 seconds on. Hard work right here. This is our last sprint. Good, push through, keep pushing. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Take some time to catch your breath. Moving on to our next song. It's going to be 20, 40, 60. So we're going to do 20 seconds of seated moderate. No, yeah. 40 seconds of standing moderate, and then we'll get 60 seconds off. So it'll be 20 seconds seated, 40 seconds standing, 60 seconds off. We're going to do that about 4 times. All right, and we're going to start in that 20 seconds in 3, 2, 1. We are now on for 20 seconds of seated moderate. Good, and we are coming up out of the saddle in 3, 2, add that resistance and come up. Good, 40 seconds. Good. Keep pushing. Good. Three, 2, 1, and down. We are off for 60 seconds. We can take this time to catch our breath or get some water if we want. It's a pretty short recovery. Good, and we're going to do that 20 seconds of seated, 40 seconds of standing one more time. But instead of cycling at moderate, we're going to try and cycle at that hard. So challenge yourself to add some more resistance for this next go about. So slowly adding that resistance, cranking your knob to the right. You're on a Schwinn bike. Good. And we are back on for that 20 seconds seated. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. This one should be a little bit heavier than our last one. Three, 2, 1, and stand. Good, 40 seconds standing. Good, push through. Three, 2, 1, and down. Good. Relax a little bit, take some of that resistance off. We got a minute. And we're going to segue into our next song, which is going to be a seated flat, a bit of recovery time. So we're going to cycle with this next song at a pretty moderate while seated, and use it as a little bit of recovery time before we enter that stage 2. Good. And I'll explain what stage 2 looks like a little bit once we get into this next song, but now we're enjoying that 1 minute from that last drill. Good. All right. Go ahead and start to find that resistance to where we feel like we're putting in a good amount of work, but we could be doing it for a while. And we're going to cycle at this pace for about 2.5 minutes, and then we're going to start to creep it up, kick it into that harder form of work, and then go right into stage 2. So we got about 5 minutes before stage 2, taking advantage of this seated flat as time, a little bit of time to recover, but also a little bit of time to put in some work. Stage 2 is going to kind of be interval training as well. We're going to kick off stage 2 with the 10, 20, 30. So we're going to be standing for this one. We're going to be standing for 10 seconds of easy work, 20 seconds of moderate work, and 30 seconds of hard work. And then we're going to break it back down for that 10 seconds of easy, 20 of moderate, 30 of hard. And we're going to stay standing that entire song. And then we're going to finish stage 2 with some Tabata, which for those of you who don't know what Tabata is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We're going to do that for 8 rounds. And we're going to go in between seated sprints and standing. If you want that extra challenge of a standing sprint, the option is there to take it, but only if you feel safe and controlled. Other than that, I would advise you just do standing moderate. But if you want to gain some speed in that standing sprint, feel welcome to. So take you some time to get some water and get ready for stage 2. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these virtual group fitness classes. I know all the instructors are incredibly happy to be back in the studio, being able to be connected with the students still, even though we can't see all of your lovely, wonderful faces, and see how tired you guys get from our classes. But we really like that we can still kind of at least interact virtually with you guys, because we have missed you as our semester last semester got cut short, and we weren't able to see much of you in the summer. But our recovery song, we're going to go ahead and kick up that resistance a little bit, just to get our bodies in here for stage 2. So go ahead and increase that resistance a little bit. Start like waking your legs right back up. Good. In this recovery time, option to cycle standing is always there. Some people like to recover while standing because it's just comfortable. Maybe they've been seated for too long, it stretches out their hips. Or maybe you want to stay seated. Completely up to you. We've got about 2 minutes left. So I would advise in about 1 minute maybe coming up and standing, because we're going to kick off stage 2 in that standing position. So it'd be nice to maybe warm up into it a little bit. We got about 1.5 minutes left until we move on to stage 2. Good. All right, and if you would like that option to increase that resistance and come up out of the saddle, just to get ready for stage 2, we've got about 1 minute left before we get there. Remembering that when we're standing, we're going to want to keep our core engaged with that open chest, flat back, pedaling directly through the center of our foot. So we're going to get the majority of our power. We want to have a light grip on the handlebars. We don't want to be leaning on them. We're not touching them at all because that is very unsafe. Good, but while we're standing now, we kind of want to be at that easy pace. So we're ready when we get into 20 or 10, 20, 30. Good, so go ahead and get in that mindset. We're going to start this drill in 3, 2, 1. We are in 10 seconds of easy work. Go ahead and turn that knob to the right a little bit. 20 seconds of moderate work. Good, push. And add for 30 seconds of hard work. We should be heavy. Good. And relax. 10 seconds of that easy work. Add for 20 seconds of moderate. Good. And add for 30 seconds of hard. Push through. And relax. 10 seconds of easy work. This is our third round. Add for 20 seconds of moderate. Good. And add for 30 seconds of hard work. Push through every stride. And relax. Good. 10 seconds of light work. Add for 20 seconds of moderate. And add for our last 30 seconds of hard work. Good. Push through here. Ten seconds left. Good, and relax. We're going to stay standing for about a minute and a half left. The option to do one more round of 10, 20, 30 is there, only if you'd like. If not, stay standing for the rest of the minute and 30. But if you want to do that, then add for 20 seconds. Again, completely up to you. And add for 30 seconds of hard work. Again, completely optional. Good. Almost there. And relax in 3, 2, 1. Good. And we're going to stay standing for about 30 more seconds in an easy work phase. Good. And we're going to take a seat. Good. And finish strong with 3 rounds up to bottom. So we're going to be seated sprints for 20 seconds, off for 10. Standing for 20 seconds, off for 10. And we're going to do that 3 times. So our first seated sprint is in 3, 2, 1, on for 20 seconds. Good. 3, 2, 1, off for 10. And we are standing in 3, 2, 1. On for 20. Three, 2, 1, and off for 10. Good, we're going to do that 2 more times. We are on in 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds. Hard work. Off in 3. Good. Standing in 3. And come up. Good. And off in 3, 2, 1. Relax. We got 1 more round of that, and we are into our cool down. On for that last round in 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds. Off in 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. And we are in our last standing in 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Take all that resistance off your flywheel. And we're going to pedal it out a little bit just to bring our heart rates down. Catch our breath, maybe get some water. Whew. I hope you guys worked really hard today. I know it's always a pleasure getting to teach on a bike, so I hope you guys like to cycle on a bike the same way I do. Let's go ahead and bring our arms across our chest, almost There's a magnetic repel between our shoulder and our ear. Good. To get the most out of this stretch. Good. And switch. Good. Same thing with that magnetic repel between our shoulder and our ear. And release. Everybody go ahead and press down on that red knob or do whatever you need to do to bring your quad wheel to a stop. And we're going to come to the back of our bikes. There should be a nice incline that we're going to prop our heel right up on and hinge forward at the hips to start stretching that lower back half of our leg. Good. The more you lean forward into this stretch, the deeper it's going to feel. Good. And relax. Same thing on that other leg, propping our toes right up on that nice incline and hinging at our hips. Good. I do want to take some time to advertise the other classes that we're offering, so you can find those on Sports Rec, or KSU Sports Rec, our Instagram page, our Twitter, or our website at mysportsrec.kensal.edu to register for more of these classes so that we can keep bringing them to you. Go ahead and find that nice midpoint on your bike and prop your heel up on it, hinging forward at the hips. Good, we're going to lean into a nice hamstring stretch. Again, the deeper you hinge at the hips, the deeper it's going to feel in that muscle. Good, relax. Same thing on that other leg, hinging forward at that hip. Good. And release. Our last stretch of today is going to be our quad stretch. So we're going to grab our ankle, point our knee directly at the ground, and focus on keeping our hips right underneath us. And we're going to feel that stretch in the upper front half of our leg. Our lovely, lovely tried and true quad. Good. The stretch is pretty important because cycling is a very quad dominant format. So make sure you're doing everything you can to get the most out of this stretch. Good, release, same thing on that other leg. I know I helped you guys a little bit over today. Sorry about that, but it is important that we stretch. So just hang with me for about 30 more seconds and then you guys will be home free, good to go. Good. Almost there. And relax. Thank you guys so much for joining me. My name is Muchi. Again, this was Cycle Express, and I hope to see you guys back here next week. Bye.